What's up, everybody? It's Brian with Happy Thumbs Gaming, and we are back with Lego City Undercover Fresco Free Roam. Sounds like some sort of an ice cream or something, doesn't it? Fresco Free Roam. I don't know. Anyhow, we're going to go ahead and swoop through the area and collect all of those pesky collectibles scattered throughout. As you probably already know, we've spent some time trying to get the most efficient route throughout this level, and hopefully we'll guide you right through it and get to that 100% for this area. We got a long ways to go for that 100% total, but hey, before we get going, let's go ahead and halt real quick. That's right, I'm waiting for chases. There we go. Yep. We're going to go ahead and take a quick peek at our red bricks that we've got on so far. Now, some of you have been following along and actually have all the same red bricks that we do, but it is important that if you have not been following along, that you actually have the Super Color Gun red brick and the Unlimited Dynamite red brick on, as it will save you a tremendous amount of time trying to figure out where to go, how to find them, and what colors you need. So, O to the yeah, let's go ahead and take a quick peek over at Fresco here. You can see we actually don't have any of the collectibles for this area, so that's kind of a change. Usually the story has eluded us through and given us at least one of the items, but in this particular case, we actually have to go to the helipad, which is way up top, and it's really hard to get to without a helicopter. So rather than going and trying to find a vehicle spawn pad or something, another heliport for this particular situation, we're gonna go ahead and spawn right at the old police station, get up on top, and get the old swooper. Try to get the old Happy Thumbs Gaming Edition there, but it was kind of more of a gold than it was a yellow, huh? But we'll go ahead and hop in, and we're going to fly on out. Now, here's a good time. I know we already had the on-screen notation there, but if you guys are in a hurry, or maybe you already have this particular character token that we're heading for, feel free to use the quick links down below in the video description. Now, this video is quite long. It's roughly 50 minutes or so, and there is going to be a lot of ups and downs and probably some collectibles that you've already found along the way. And if that's the case, you can simply use those collectible quick links to go ahead and get to those items that you need. So, like if you need a red brick or something, go ahead and use the red brick link, or you know what I'm saying. If there's some sort of complications of getting onto roofs, that's going to be a little bit more difficult, but if you can figure out which collectible is on the roof, of course, use the quick links and you'll see our pathway to get up there. So, all right, we are taking kind of a shortcut through rather than following the southern coast and flying up the east coast there. We're going to go ahead and cut right through, and look at that. We're right by Blackwell's super tall building there. I believe that's the tallest building in the area, but I'm not 100% sure. We're going to kind of start descending down to the lower area of Fresco. You know you're in Fresco when you can see the big old leaning tower there, and we're going to go right next to it. In fact, I think it even course corrects us because we get a little too close here. But right beyond that, on the backside of the mountaintops there, you can see there is a little heliport pad, and there's our glowing halo that we're going to go ahead and land on. Now, I have to be honest, this was a little bit of trickery here. Well, the landing was a little bit of an issue as well, but all right, we're coming in for a land. It was a little weird animation there. I'm really low, and it drops me in from the top. Very weird. But all right, you can see we got a couple of super bricks down there, but we have no access to get inside there. So you guys might remember some of this from the story. We have to come out on this ledge here, and look at that. We've got ourselves a jetpack spot, which spawns 2 more circles and helps us get a little bit further. We would not have been able to clear that gap without them. And look at this. We just need to make our way up, and away. In fact, we need to get all the way up, but bypass the old mission there. We're going to kind of double back and go down the old stairs here. And notice there's a jump over point right there that we just passed, but hey, we got to get them super bricks. So collect those bad boys, and we'll go ahead and use this climb over point to go ahead and get out there to that character token. And look at that, right here on the ledge, you're going to find a little rock, and yes, it's hidden underneath the helipad icon, and for some reason the map always snaps to the nearest icon, which is fun, but not great too. But Tim Welch is officially in the bag, and our collectible collection is officially begun. Well, at least for the old Fresco anyways. Fresco Free Roam. All right, back to the chopper. That's right, get to the chopper. So as you know, we always try and get those collectibles that have multiple items needed to get it, and we try to get them in order and in a row rather than getting one here and one 20 minutes later. And this next one is kind of confusing because one of the items in this area requires 3 items. That's right, so one collectible requires 3 different items. One of the items is actually below this statue, and there was another one that's related to the soccer statue behind us too, and we kind of messed up on that one. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and slam some dynamite down here inside the old silver statue brown barrel and watch him go kablooey. That's right, we're going to go ahead and collect the first gold brick for this area, but we're also going to reveal some bouncing bricks. Did you see those bricks bouncing around? That's right, keep those in mind. We're going to come back to those later. That's actually probably one of the hardest things to find in this area if you don't know. Like let's say if you're pre-planning like I do, you know, I run around and try to figure out where everything's at and get a good idea. Like this barbecue back here, we didn't know this barbecue was here until we did our planning. So we would have totally missed that because that's kind of in a little nook and cranny there. But we extinguished that with our handy can there, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and keep on keeping on down this alleyway here, which takes us right over to this little courtyard, and inside that courtyard, which looks like it's on the southwest side of the map of that biggest, longest apartment building there. Look at that. Go ahead and get your smash on. That's right. Cha-cha-cha-cha. And once it's all gone kablooey-tooey, we'll go ahead and collect that gold brick. So, woohoo, we're actually off and running here, and let's see, what's next? We've got ourselves a couple of character tokens that are up high on the rooftops, but you can access both of them via the same blue pipe and way up there. So we're going to go ahead and show you that now. This is actually in the bottom southwest corner of the map. There is, you'll see, we're going to keep on keeping on until we can see. I can already see all the stuff on the side of the wall here. We've got a couple of handhelds and some blue piping, and look at that. It's right there, almost on the southernmost tip of the west side of the area of Fresco. So that's, of course, the brown area on the map there. And, all right, so we're going to go ahead and shimmy our way up. That's right. Why no shimmy, Jimmy? All right, we're going to get all the way up top there. I'm sure you guys are getting tired of hearing the old shimmy Jimmy jokes, but we're going to go ahead and do a little bit more shimmying along the ledge here, and we get out to this little center point. Look at that. We've got ourselves a grapple plug. So pull out the undercover edition of Chase McCain, and look at that. We go ahead and pull ourselves up top and grab Sentinel Channard. I don't know exactly how to say that, but he's one of those Matrix dudes, and he's officially in our collection now. Now, this one's actually really close. It looks like we're in the southern area there, but we are not. We are actually still in Fresco, up on the building top. We're going to go ahead and use Rex, his strength, to go ahead and rip open that. I don't know what it is. It looks like some sort of an elephant statue. It's kind of a weird place for that, but we'll rip it open and grab Forrest Blackwell in his tuxedo. So looking rather dapper, sir. We'll drop down below and we'll start making our way around. Now, this is, so we kind of go around in a circle. We start at kind of like 10 o'clock, if you're looking at a clock, and we kind of work our way counterclockwise down and around the outsides, and then we come back and get all of the goodies on top of the roofs, kind of in the middle, and then finish with those. So this one is kind of down in the bottom middle, and you can see it's right there in the park. We've got a couple of those dark gray or black bricks that we bust open with our pickaxe, and inside we find the first boulder to smash, which in fact there's actually 2 in this area. It's the first time we've ran into 2 so far, at least that I can remember anyway. So yeah, that's, watch out, he's got a chicken, people. We're gonna go ahead and get our on, and look at that, make our way right over to this vehicle call-in point, which you may or may not have already built. But look at this, we get a ton of studdage, and we also get a vehicle token for Squeaky. And next up, we're actually going to go, just like I said, around the outside edges of the map. We're going to head over to the pier over here. And look at that, we've got an ice cream truck. Now, this truck right here actually requires a super brick build to be done up in Paradise Sands. So I'm going to show you right now kind of a general area of where it is. So if you have not completed Paradise Sands yet and you're already trying to complete Fresco, you're going to have to go north just a little bit and get that super brick build taken care of. Once you do, it's actually going to go ahead and spawn this ice cream truck. And now we get to go on one of the longest routes ever for ice cream trucks. I swear, this is like, we go for, it seems like it goes forever. So listen, if you've completed this, or maybe you're already doing this, I highly suggest you use the quick link for Time Trial 2, as it is the next collectible for this video. This one takes a little bit. It's a 3 or 4 minute at least. And, you know, I have to be honest, it was a little squirrely at a couple corners. Like this guy right here, I thought for sure it was going to be the end of this race for me. But no, I actually weaseled my way back and forth and got out. And now I'm back on the road again. And wait for it. I almost, here in a minute, I almost totally lose it and go sideways. But I actually make it all the way through. And I did complete this one on my first try. Now watch this. This is fun too. Right through the middle of the whole bazaar here, and woohoo! Could you imagine trying to launch an ice cream truck? And how cool would that be if, like, you're just standing there waiting for some barbecue food or something at the local barbecue pit there, and all of a sudden this ice cream truck goes flying by? That'd be insane. And that's a hard turn right there, and back to another hard turn, and then we go up to the observatory, and then wait for it, we got one of the biggest jumps that we've completed so far. It's, I guess it would be considered a super jump, But hopefully you're not afraid of heights, and good thing this car has a good air ride suspension in it because we come down slamming from up in the skies. Ready? Here it comes. Watch this. Oh, don't look down. Oh, God. All right, we're going to make it. Woo! All right, so we are back down, and if you haven't figured it out yet, we are actually in Paradise Sands, and if you're wondering why we needed that super brick build up here, it's because, watch this. After this next little arrow here, we're going to go back up onto the boardwalk there, and check this out. There is that super brick build jump that you have to have in order to complete this race. So it won't even allow you to start it without that jump being there. So build that jump up and then return back to the ice cream truck on the docks there, and you should have no problem. Well, I shouldn't say no problem. Like I said, this is a really long race, lots of opportunity to make mistakes. They do give you some extra time, but look at that. And I got lucky there that I flipped back up on my wheels there instead of staying on my lid. But the timer's getting pretty close. I was starting to sweat it thinking, oh man, do I really get like 80% done with this race and I have to do it all over again? And look at me, I almost went right through that disguise booth. Did you see that? That would have been a little premature, but I didn't do it. I successfully maneuvered around, and look at that, we're back over to the docks and finish line. That's right, we'll go ahead and collect our vehicle token for the Muncher. I guess that makes sense. It's an ice cream truck. We certainly have done some munching around one of those. And, well, anyhow, we're going to go ahead and collect a gold brick as well. So, oh, yeah, look at this. There's a bluesy on the dock. Got to get them all. Can't miss that. I guess I really didn't need to. I have so much studdage, I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. I know we have to buy some stuff, but nah, we don't really need to buy much. And we've got way more studdage than we need. We're going to finish this game with at least 15 billion. That's craziness. But all right, next, time trial is up here, and hopefully use the quick link so you didn't have to watch that super long ice cream thing. But this one is actually a little tricky, too. There's lots of really sharp turns, and the arrows in these halos kind of show you turn left, but that's, watch, this one's kind of a hard left, and it doesn't necessarily look like a hard left, and it is. And there's a couple of moments that are like that, so you might find yourself having to repeat this race. I actually, in all honesty, I started playing through Fresco, and I got like 90% of the way through the collectibles, and I was waiting. I got to that time trial that we just did, that ice cream truck one, and I could not figure out. I figured something else that I completed in this area was going to unlock that for me. But as it turns out, no, it's actually the super brick build in another area. So I'd completed this race once before, and it took me like 3 or 4 tries because of these hard turns. And now, some of you guys are out there probably going, what are you talking about? This is easy. And if that's the case, that is awesome. That's what we want to hear. We don't want these to be hard for you. We want to make these as easy as possible. And although we're not the game developers setting the, the stats and trying to make things go up or down or whatever, whoa, look at that. I ran over a dude, and I almost missed that halo. But in the end, we want to show you the most efficient route and give you the best tips so that you can complete this with ease and not have to repeat a lot of times like some of us have had to do. I know that, like Marvel superheroes, the first one, the flying was really problematic for a lot of people. I struggled with it a fair amount as well, but I mean, there's some people that have reported that, like, we're not ever going to finish this game because of those stupid races. And I don't know, hopefully my tips and tricks will come in handy and hopefully get you through there, but, stick with it. That's all I can say. If you're having troubles and you get frustrated, move on to another collectible and come back to this guy later. But, hey, look at that. We got the Squadmobile. It kind of looks like the A-Team van pre the red stripe, but might not be. Either way, it's got lots of room for lots of goodies or baddies, depending on what side of the fence we're playing on, because, we kind of switch back and forth, being undercover and all. But next up, we're going to head up to the top of this dock roof here, and it happens to be the vehicle robber arrested. So we're going to look for a guy up to no good. And there he is. You can see him. He's trying to get his steal on. I don't know if he's... it's weird that he's trying to... It looks like he was trying to jumpstart the car from the outside. I'm not sure how that works, but I won't worry about it too much. We got a vehicle being dropped in by our local PD. And look at that. We're going to go ahead and hop in the old super turbo car and get our boost on. And be careful when you come out of that parking lot there, as if you come in a little too hot, you're going to miss the turn to get up on this bridge, and you might have to restart this event over again. But that's all right. You can do it as many times as you like. It doesn't cost you any studs or anything. The only thing it costs you is time and maybe a little bit of pride. But all right, you can see I'm hot on his trail, and I've even got the red brick for longer vehicle boost on, but I'm still having a hard time keeping up with him. That truck, I got to tell you, that truck may be the way to go. Look how fast this guy is. And I don't think I've ever driven one of those guys, but keep getting your ram on until all 4 of those hearts are gone, and he's going to take off on foot. And now I have officially learned that the game wants me to tackle him with the circle or B button, depending on which platform you're playing on. But it does not want you to grapple him up or knock him down. It just wants you to tackle him while running. So don't try to wrap him up or any of that. But hey, we're going to go ahead and get the Transter vehicle token as well as a gold brick. And look, we're nowhere near where we should be. We're a long ways away from home. So we're going to go ahead and target that area of where we just left to start that mission, and we're going to go ahead and drive all the way back to those docks. So to save a little bit of time, I've edited most of that drive out, but you can see here we are. We have officially arrived on the docks, and we are going to go back to the lower side of this building, and you can see there's a crowbar point, so we're going to go ahead and crowbar our way in. Now, I have to be honest, I got a little button happy here, and I do believe it kicks me out of this option not once, but twice. Oh no, I edited it out. That's right. I didn't do anything wrong there. I was perfect. All right, crowbar that door open, accept the mission, and we're going to go ahead and follow the old ghost sat nav stud trail all the way to our chop shop so we can go ahead and drop it off, and the bad guys can do whatever bad guys do with cars. I guess break them down into other parts and sell them to other bad guys. Or get arrested. That's probably a better explanation. The bad guys steal cars to break them down and then get arrested for being a thief. How about that? All right, this trail is kind of a zigging and a zagging, and you can see we took a little shortcuts through some of those corners just to shave a little bit of craziness, because sometimes the way you steer these things, it's a little bit touchy, so to speak. I'm glad real cars aren't as overreactive as some of these Lego cars are, because I would probably not even be capable of driving. As you can see, I'm all over the road in Lego World. I would probably be all over the world in RL, or real life, as we like to call it. So, oh no, look at that. It was a little bit of a traffic jam there. I managed to weasel my way through, and there are cops trying to stop you. Most of them are in big vans that kind of look like a news van or something, but I guess it's supposed to be a SWAT team van. But in this particular case, we are doing a pretty good job of avoiding them. Now, trees and innocent bystanders, that's a whole nother story, but oh, to the yeah, we're getting pretty close to our destination. Well, we're at least halfway. We got to cross the old bridge here, which, hey, if you have not got the Flash Car Trophy achievement for building up a 5x multiplier for the bricks that you can collect, the bridge is a great place to do it. You can drive right up along the sidewalk there, kind of half on and half off, and there's all those posts there. And I definitely recommend a car with boost, and if you want some more information on that, we do have a full trophy achievement video for Flash Car, and you can certainly look that up. Just make sure you put the old HTG after you search Lego City Undercover Flash Car, because that's going to help you get to our content. I don't know. I haven't even mentioned that lately. Maybe that's why our view count is a little down, because you guys aren't using the HTG in the searches. Now, I'll have to bring that up more often and maybe even make a post about it on our social stuff. So look at all them sat nav studs being collected. That's right, we've got the red brick for that on, which allows us to get paid while following them GPS stud markers. Now look at this, there's a hard right coming up here, and then a hard left right by it, and then I go right on by the place and we whip the brake, and look at that, safe. And oh, to the yeah, I'm not sure there's a whole lot of value left on that car, but there was at least one heart left, and the mission is completed. So here we are again, a long way away from home. In fact, we're further than ever before. We do get the Falchion GT. I believe that's how you say it. Falchion? I'm not exactly sure. We also got a gold brick. But look where we are. We're all the way over here in Auburn, where we haven't even made our way yet to yet way. Something like that. Anyhow, we're going to go ahead and target the area that we just started this mission from and return right to that point. And we're going to try to pick a faster car here, but as it turns out, we got a slowpoke anyway. So we got the Squeaky. But look at that. We're back on the dock. Nice power brake. I don't know how I got so good at power braking right there, but we're going to double back a little bit. Now, you guys might have noticed a little bit of shaky ground back here as we were approaching the docks. Yep, there is a place that you can go ahead and shimmy your way up there. But we're going to go ahead and run back by that, and we're going to sneak on down. You know, we've been working pretty hard. We're, what, 20 minutes almost into this video here? So we're going to go ahead and take ourselves a nice little coffee break. That's right. Cue the elevator music and some relaxation, maybe a little spa time. Unless you're Charlie. If you're Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philly, then spa day is kind of like, you know, like you're saying a word but not quite completing it, like spaghetti day. Anybody watch Sunny in Philly? Yeah, most of you guys are probably too young or don't even know what the show is, but if any of you out there are old like me and like some Sunny in Philly, let's talk about your favorite moments, favorite characters. I love that show. Mac and Dennis and the implications and, oh man, Chardy McDennis. Oh, anyways, all right, enough of that. We're going to go ahead and go back to those shaky tiles over on the ground, right over here in the bottom right-hand corner of the southeasternmost buildings that we're going to go ahead and get on the roofs. And look at that, woohoo! I don't know how fun this would really be, getting blasted up the tuchus with a whole bunch of water. That might be a little painful. It's kind of like an excessive bidet, right? Anyhow. All right, moving up. Yeah, did you know, a little fun fact for you, did you know this BTS icon on the wall here is only one letter off from being my initials? BTC? I don't know why that's important, but I just figured I'd mention that. I don't look like a bear, and I'm sure I wonder what BTS stands for. I don't think I've paid attention enough to figure that out. We're gonna go ahead and grapple this open. Now I gave you a quick peek at the map, thinking that there was a collectible in there, but no, I was wrong. It's actually the next rooftops over here that has the collectible. And it happens to be for Lucky Pete, and I was certainly unlucky right there, trying to show you guys and acting like I knew what I was talking about. But after a little bit of tight pants, tight roping, and sliding down, and another rooftop we had to scale over the top, we're going to give you a peek at the map and crowbar another rooftop building door open. And look at that. Inside is Lucky Pete. Now this next part, now keep in mind, we're going to have to come on this roof a couple of times because we have to use this big boinger right here to get over to this weird kind of clock tower a couple of times. Now, you could choose to do it however you like. We dropped down because we thought we might be able to get back up top there with our jetpack and complete that. But as it turns out, we're not able to. So we dropped down below, we grabbed the old free run token, and that unlocks free run, which is actually down below us over to our left. And we'll take that on here in a second, but you can see, watch, I'm gonna take a peek here and show you, like, this is where we are in the map because I was a little short on that. We came over from Lucky Pete and then immediately dropped down and accidentally grabbed that before showing you the map. But there's a bunch of rooftops here, and there's all these, like, little like Lego pieces that we can run on, but yet we can't really go anywhere. And I go up top here, and I think, okay, if I get all the way up here, I might be able to jump and float over to the top of this, like, clock tower thing. But as it turns out, I get no luck. And although I collect a handful of studs up here, really we're getting nowhere. And I'm still kind of indecisive. Like, I'm almost to the point where I'm like, gosh, do I start over and do all? And I'm like, no way, I've done way too much. We're 20-something minutes in the record. No, but as it turns out, we just decided to go ahead and drop down onto the ground, and look at that, right down below us is the free run. So we'll go ahead and knock this guy out right now, and make sure you get that free run token unlocked if you haven't already. Now I'm assuming you've been watching along, but hey, if you click the quick link and you just came here all quick style, you never know. So all right, it shows you where we need to go. We have, I believe, 3 tokens that we need to accumulate as we make this, or no, maybe it's more than that. It's 5. This one's 5. I forgot. It was the last one that was 3. Paradise Sands had the easiest free run of all time. Only 3 tokens required, and it was really short and so small. And look at this one. So I go up top, and check this out. I knew it was the right door because I remember this from a previous thing. And then I dropped down. I'm like, oh no! I totally make a mistake, and I'm like, all right, there's no way I'm going to be able to make it in time. World's biggest mistake in this free run. Time is against me. I better go. But look at this. There's a blue pipe we can go ahead and scale and get up top. And once we get right up to the top, we actually find another one of those tokens that gives us 5 more seconds. So if I keep on keeping on, I can probably do this, I start telling myself. And as it turns out, I totally can. So this free run seems to be a little bit longer than usual, but it gives you those 5 tokens that will give you a little bit of extra time. And I kind of feel like it gives us a little bit of extra time to start with too. So, I mean, I even ran by the last 2 tokens, had to double back to go get them. We climb back up top, and check this out. We're going to get our slide on and slide all the way down to the finish line. That's right. So next up, we're going to go ahead and collect that gold brick because we love gold. That's right. And look at that. We also get ourselves a token for the snowboarder guy. We'll go ahead and take that. Thank you very much. And we'll move back over to the rooftops where those shaky tiles are, because we already mentioned we had to go back up to that crazy clock tower thing where that scan point is, where, well, we're going to find the gang arrested point, as you can tell by our next quick link down there. So we'll go ahead and make our way up and away. See, I'm showing you the map here because we got to go all the way down these buildings to get all the way over to those buildings. That's right. So if you're just using the quick links to get here, just kind of a little quick explanatory pause moment there as we go ahead and slide and bounce and boing all the way from rooftop to rooftop. That's right, we got to get one more up over the top, down as we go, and final for the big boinger. That's right. Get ready. Boing. All right, woo to the who. And it blasts us right up top, and guess what? We can go ahead and get our scan on and try to see if there's some peoples up to nose good. Now, as it turns out, there of course is a specific spot you're supposed to scan, and once you scan, it's going to give you all the info you need to find out where those baddies are going to meet up and try to get up some bad stuff. So we're going to go ahead and follow these guys on over here. Look at that, it's up in the upper balcony area of that big building in the middle, and look at that, he's talking about going to the docks again, the little Fresco felon fracas. And we're going to put a stop to that and simply just, we got to make our way over to the point that it's going to give us here in a second. And it comes a little close, but not quite as close as old Paradise Sands. If you guys watch Paradise Sands, we barely made it. There was less than a half a second left on our timer. And in this particular case, we just actually jump off the roof straight down. It's kind of a funny angle with the camera until you get on the ground, but just run straight down. And look at that. It's going to turn around and booyakashow, run into that purple halo. And all of a sudden, the bad guys start to mess with us. We're going to go ahead and approach them, and they all want to get some dance lessons. So a little cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Ooh, look at that. Slam dunk-a-rooney. Little cuff and stuff for all of these guys. I highly recommend using the counter-attack button, which is going to be either triangle or Y button, depending on which platform you're playing on. Now, if you're playing on the Wii U, it could be a different button, too. I'm not sure. I did not play that version. And this should be pretty relevant to the same collectibles and everything, but it might be a little bit different because there's some Mario content, some Nintendo-only content in the Wii U version, which may be a little bit different than what we're seeing here, but all right, there's a little farmer spot here. We actually can use that to get up top and make our way around those building tops, which we did for the free run and whatnot. However, we can actually use the jetpack off the top of that little cauldron we watered there and get up top there too. So I go ahead and plant that and I run off. We're actually off to a Diguise booth over this way, and we're going to go ahead and pick that up. Now, I just want to make a little note, too, that we actually did have to do a little edit along the way here, and I don't think I made any notations to the wrong character tokens, but we were off just a little bit ago, and I had to correct that, so they should all be good on the numbers, but if my voice may have said something a little bit different, I apologize, but that was character token number 6 for the Gangster, and it also gave us a gold brick for completing that Diguise booth, which we haven't had to use many of those yet. I'm not sure we're actually ever going to, unless there's a trophy achievement related to it. But, hey, right all the way down between the alley of those two main buildings, kind of on the left-hand side there, we're going to find another spot that we can actually water. We're going to show you on the map real quick. And, of course, we've already watered it, and there's a giant sunflower we can climb, so we're going to scale that bad boy all the way to the top. Once we get up there, we actually find a little room we can crowbar open. If you don't already have the red brick for super color gun, you can go ahead and get inside there. We're going to rip it open, and we thought there might have been a super brick or something in there, but nope, just some studdage, and we can go ahead and use that bouncer, the wall that is, to go ahead and get up there, or you could use the jetpack. The jetpack will also get you up onto that little ledge, and then you can go ahead and get your shimmy on, and look at that, we're all the way over here. We got another wall to climb up, and hey, wait a minute, we've kind of been up here before, but a little bit further down here, and as it turns out, we need to get up top to this main roof right here, and on the main roof, we're going to find character token number 7, Paulie Blindfolds. And if you noticed, he actually has like a bandana or something over his head, which is kind of indicating why we call him Blindfolds. Because I was like, why would we call him that? Is he a salesman or something for blinds? But nope, turns out he actually has a little blindfold on. We must not want him to know where we're going. But, all right, on the rooftop just to the right, or I guess north of it, depending on how you're looking at it, there's going to be another little area, and this actually has a door that needs some accents. So we're going to go ahead and pull that bad boy out and rip it open, and inside we're going to find character token number 8, Salvatore Calzone. That's right. I'm getting kind of hungry. All these references to these Italian peoples, right? I mean, we had a couple of them so far. I am certainly a fan of calzone. Sausage may be a little bit much on my belly, but I love it. I love it. All right, so we'll go ahead, and this is a little bit tricky. Now, there's another way to get up to this rooftop, but we found this being the easiest way. However, if you fall, it's going to be easier to use the old climb-up point, which is on the south side of the building there. But, to the up on the very top here, we're actually going to find a space crate! Space crate! And this is actually going to be one of the 3 items we need to get character token number 9, which happens to be Carlo Jerome. It actually requires us to find 3 ice cream scoops and actually get them inside this little sundae dish over here right in front of Papa Lardo. So we're going to go ahead and move the first one down. Now, if you've been watching the video all the way from the beginning, you probably remember we actually did some weird stuff out of order. We blew up a silver statue kind of in the northwest corner, and we told you there was going to be something in there. Well, that's where one of these items is. We also mentioned that the soccer statue statue just behind us when we were doing that actually had some stuff too. So we're going to make our way over to that. That's just to the right of a super brick build if you haven't already built it up. And we're going to go ahead and grapple the soccer ball away from the old soccer player. And it's kind of a 2-for-1 here. We actually get one of the scoops needed for character token 9, but we also get character token 10, the soccer player. So we'll go ahead and collect that one and get this. It's kind of a slow going getting this scoop back there. And if you notice too, one of the scoops so far actually has a colored gun little notation there indicating that we need to change the color of it. We will get to that in just a second. The third one actually has one of those too. It turns out the one we have now does not, and it does not need any kind of color changing, and we find that out the hard way at the end once we actually do it. But look, we got 2 of 3 done, and we're going to go ahead and hop in a car and make our way up there to that third one, which is actually underneath this silver statue you need to destroy. So if you haven't already, get some dynamite and blow that bad boy up. But we're going to go ahead and make our way over to it real quick and collect. We're actually going to have to build up the old scoop and then roll it on over. That's right. We're going to ride it on over using the old triangle button, or I guess the icon indicated for you. It could be the Y button, or again, I'm not sure what it is on the old Wii U. It's probably something to do with the old the big gamepad. I don't know. All right, third one is built up. Now we just have to simply ride it on back and place it in place, and we'll go ahead and collect that character token number 9 for Carlo Jerome. Now, you know, normally I put these backwards, so I don't, this should have been 10 instead of 9, and 10 should have been 9 instead of 10, but I don't know. I just left it this way. So hopefully you can forgive me and it won't be too confusing. But we do have quick links for both of these, or actually all 4 of them, since there's 3 parts to number 9 and 1 part to number 10. We got it all covered with multiple quick links. And look at that. We've got the Sunday complete, except for it's not quite the right color, but that doesn't matter for this character token. We're going to go ahead and collect that first. And once we get Carlo Jerome, we're going to go ahead and pull out our super color gun paint brick. That's right, the red one, because we don't have to run around and try to figure out which is which and what's what. Turns out you needed to make it Neapolitan colors, which is going to be chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. So apparently this gray right here that I painted yellow is considered white. So we'll go ahead and leave that vanilla, and we'll paint the other 2. We got strawberry, and now we got chocolate, and we also get rewarded with a character token, Vinny in the tracksuit. That, gotta love it. The, you know, tracksuits are, I don't know, you know, being stereotypical, I don't know if Italians generally wear tracksuits. I've always found Russians to be the ones that you seem to see. Now, again, I'm not trying to be stereotypical. I'm not trying to, you know, say that people can't wear something that they shouldn't wear, but it just seems like that might have been kind of a crossover there between the Italians and the Russians. I don't know. Maybe Papalardo is both. Who knows? Anyhow, we have officially gone into the Papalardo's area here. We're going to scale actually, it's a big tanker right near the entrance, and we're going to go ahead and hip it to the hoppa because we just don't stop all the way over, and we actually need to get to the very rooftops of Papalardo's because there is a little piglet up there, and that's right, it's going to be time for one of your favorite episodes coming up again. It's, we'll wait for it because we want to get to the actual launcher before we actually holler out what's going down here. But go ahead and water the old flower pot there, which is going to give us a sunflower to get up top, and once we get on top, we're going to have this little piglet, and that's right, we all the way home. That's right, we're going to get all the way over to that green bouncing arrow, which happens to be another cannon. And this one was a little squirrely. I was like, which way do we go? Which way do we go? And in this particular case, we're going to go up and over the bridge and then down. We actually have to cross another bridge to get there. So it's kind of a funny angle, but we'll get there. I promise you that. And right on the other side of the bridge, there she blows. We'll go ahead and pack old Piglet in there. And that's right, it's time again for another edition of Pigs in Space. So we'll go ahead and cock this bad boy back and get our launch on. And see ya! He's Gandhi. But we officially get our gold brick for collecting him, and it looks like we're about halfway done with those piggies, which is nice. Anything we can be halfway done with at this point is going to be amazing, because we got a long journey of collectibles from start to finish, and we're probably getting to be about the halfway point on most things, like overall percentage of the game and stuff. But anyhow, all right, next up, we've got another watering point over here. It's kind of, you can see it's just east of the buildings from the Leaning Tower there. We're going to find right on the main street is another watering spot. So pull out that watering can, man, and go ahead and get up top. And we got to shimmy all the way across. This one's kind of tricky. Bryony Musca? I think that's how you say that. Is hiding back in this corner over here, and we got to go a lot of trudging, a little shimmying, and you got to sneak through this wall here. It's kind of a tricky angle there, but get inside there and run all the way down and around, and in that far right corner, what are we going to find? Not the character token, it's actually going to be a teleporter, so we're going to go ahead and call on Scotty to go ahead and beam us up, and once we get up top, we just kind of fall out of nowhere onto this rooftop. And we notice there's a Lego piece there, so we're going to stick to that. And, ooh, some more hippa to the hoppa. All the way up and inside this weird little gondola gazebo rooftop suite place. Look at this. We got Bryony Musca. And it turns out it's a girl. I would not have guessed that originally. Next up, we've got a little bit of trudging around up here. There's not anything too fancy up here. There's looks like there's a crash mat pad for any landing. Oh, and there's a super brick. It's the super brick. It's the big dog. And of course, for us, that is awesome because we have the 2x multiplier on from completing the story. So paid. That's what we just got. Paid. And let's see, what do we got next? We got the tower. We got to get to the top of the tower. There's a couple things over there, and let's see, is there anything over here? Oh, yeah, there's a chicken wing ring up there, but it doesn't do anything for us. And before we drop off this rooftop, look at me, I almost jump off the back there. We're actually going to go ahead and make our way back to where we came from, right? But those hopping spots, we're actually going to go ahead and cross the river here by little tight pants tight walking. That's right. It turns out there's actually a whole roof that crosses for us, which is nice. Doesn't make it that much of a balancing act, but oh, some more hopping. We're going to get all the way over to the far right spot, and there's that chicken wing ring that I told you about, but that's not what we're after. There's actually a kitty cat up here. We got to rescue old Emmett. So switch on over to your fire costume. That's right, the fireman costume. And it's just to the right on these buildings, just south of the big tower there. But again, you have to go all the way to the base on the street side of that other building across the way to get up here. And in fact, just go back one collectible on the quick links and you should be able to find it if you're having trouble getting up here. But meanwhile, rescue that little kitty, and we're going to activate this chicken wing ring because I was not sure what it was. But as it turns out, it's just a way to get back over to that other roof, and we don't need that. We've already been over there. I think that was actually something we did in the story earlier. But hey, check this out. In the northeast corner, just behind the old leaning tower, we're going to find on this little pier here. That's right, it's out on the south side of it, of the little gap there. We're going to find another stunt ramp. And we'll go ahead and build that up. And we're going to get a character token, Mikey Spoilers. And not to spoil it for you, but we're also going to get Gold Brick 16. So collecting them up, stashing them down. We're almost done with this level. All right, terrible song. No more singing, Brian. All right, next up, look at this. I accidentally found this guy. I did all my trudging around, and I had no idea where the final vehicle token was going to be that I needed. But as it turns out, I came right across it. So hopefully, if you're missing one vehicle token, that was the one. And hopefully the quick links help you figure that out. Now, next up, we've got the old train station. This guy, we've driven by him and seen him quite a few times. And anytime you see that Metro sign and a little stairway going down, you know that there's going to be a gold brick in your near future. And this also activates the old fast travel stuff. So I haven't used the fast travel very much, but I have used it a few times when I'm doing my pre-planning and stuff, and it certainly comes in handy. It's a lot quicker than hopping in a chopper and flying all the way up to this, northeast corner of the map, so to speak. So, all right, next up is a super brick build right out in front of the tower. I was going to go up in the tower next because it's next in line, but this spot on the map keeps being covered up by this call-in point. But then I forgot, once I activate the call-in point, then it has a call-in point on the map. So anyhow, I thought I was going to do myself some good, but really I just traded one icon for another. But hey, we got a vehicle token, the crater, out of it. And we'll go ahead and collect that and the gold brick too, and make our way back to the corner right behind the leaning tower. We're going to find a whole pile of those dark gray or black bricks. Of course, we're going to need the old mining edition of Chase McCain. Go ahead and pull out that pickaxe and gets to picking. Inside, we're going to find that lovely, lovely boulder. And we're going to go ahead and smash it down because, I guess that's what we're supposed to do. And look at that. We get a couple of bricks for the brick builds. And we also get a handful of studs. And, of course, we get that gold brick as well. Next up, we're actually going to head to the top of the what is it, the Fusellini Tower? Not exactly sure what the proper pronunciation of that is, but I think you guys will forgive me, because I'm not sure you know either. I'm sure they say it in the game, but I'm not going to go back and listen to some story footage just to figure that out, because that's a little too much. Now, hey, we also have a trophy achievement that's possible here. If you walk all the way up to the underside of this ring, and you jump on the outside ledge, you can see there's studs all the way around that outside ledge. You can actually hop on that and slide down it like a grind. And if you start from the very top, which is going to be actually not on the roof, but right coming up right about 5 or 6 seconds here, right where this rail meets the roof side. So get ready. It's coming, I swear. It's a long run up here. I'd say there it is right there. So start from right there and slide all the way down, and you should get that trophy achievement. If you're having troubles, we do have a video up for that as well. Fusellini Twist trophy achievement. And again, use that HTG at the end of your search to go ahead and see, see us instead of everybody else. All right, next up, the secret shield piece. This bad boy is right in the top. You can't really miss it. And there's a total of 5 of these guys. And you know what? We're going to have a trophy achievement video for this guy once we get them all too, to kind of make things a little bit quicker and easier for you, especially if you're specifically trying to target that. Now, if you go through all of our videos, you should find it on your own anyways. But hey, some of you guys like to get those trophy achievements out of the way, and that's one way to do it. It's to watch a video and get her done. But, all right, so I was a little confused. I found the space crate, and I was like, yes, space crate. It's going to give me, wait, what? It gave me a teleporter. Well, what that does is it gives us quick access to the very top of this tower. So I find that out here in a second. As of this recording, while I'm doing this right now, I still am not sure what that did, but we find out here in a second. But look at that. We've got a district conquered, as this seems to be the highest building in the Fresco district. And look at that, we'll collect our gold brick. And next up, we're going to go ahead and try to slide down this thing. And now this is a good point, too. If you guys are in a hurry to get that next collectible, it's going to be a minute or two before we get there. So check out those quick links down below. And let's see here. We're going to go ahead and slide down. I did miss the initial jump, so if you started where I started from, there's a good chance you might not get that trophy achievement, because it does state in the description to start from the top of the tower and slide down. Now, you do gain speed as you go down, and then you eventually get tossed off, and I don't know about you, but I was getting a little bit nauseous sliding down there. And here's the point where I actually discover what that teleporter does. I walk inside, and I call on old Scotty to beam me up, and he does just that. Takes me all the way to the top. And, yeah, and then I think I jump off and fall to my doom, plummet to my doom. I don't know. We'll see here in a second. All right, but you can see here, nice little teleport. Hey, it's a quick, easy way to get up top there. And look at me. I'm shaking my head like, oh, God, now we're all the way up here again. Now what are we going to do? But don't look down. All right, so I used my jetpack to kind of save the fall there. And look at that, I found myself a super brick. And as it turns out, a little tight pants tight roping gets us across to another rooftop, which has another super brick. And look at that, we got some more tight pants tight roping to get across to a third building, which I fell a little short. But it turns out there's some boxes there, which make it easy to get up top. And there is one more building over here, so you might as well make your way over here and collect those super bricks. Now, we've been doing a lot of spending, but we haven't been doing a lot of collecting. And I got to be honest, you know, you got a scanner you can pull out and find a lot of those bricks, but I haven't really needed to. We have a 2x multiplier. We also have the red brick on to collect those smaller bricks, like when we destroy something smaller, and it gives us some of those bricks. We got all that. So we've been doing pretty good as far as collecting all that stuff goes. But the last 2 levels, the last 2 areas, we've really spent a lot. So it's nice to get some of that replenished, because I like having at least a $500,000 or so. And look at me take out Buddy's moped. All right, what's up next? We've got ourselves the next collectible, which happens to need, well, it doesn't really need a vehicle, but we're going to drive down the street until we come to... Wait for it. Look at that. We've got ourselves right on the corner here. We're going to find a room that has a crowbar spot, which, hey, look at that. There's some dynamite inside there. So if you're looking for some dynamite, you don't have that unlimited dynamite brick, there's some dynamite right there. And it's right next to the old farmer pot here, which is going to grow a little sunflower to get us up onto those awnings there, the next ledge up. But as it turns out, I got a little button happy here, and I selected the wrong guy, unfortunately. So we got the farmer guy out, and the can is now officially been watered. Or I guess the pot's officially been watered with the can, man. And look at that. We've got a couple of super bricks we wanted to collect, too. Got to get them all. I can't miss them. We were just talking about how we've been spending so much and not collecting very much. So grab them, stuff them, let's go. And all right, so this one is a little bit more tedious. We have to get up on this rooftop a couple of times. So unfortunately, we have to rinse and repeat this. But we get a couple of collectibles. We get a flowers watered first, then we get a red brick, and then we kind of, you'll see. we make a decision to skip the old alien and get him last. I'm not sure whether we enjoy capturing the alien last, but it just so happens to work out in our route that way. And I don't know if the game developers planned it that way too, and I'm just accidentally following along, or if it's just coincidence or what. But check it out. We've got the watering can out up top on the roof, and we've got that flower pot watered. We got that gold brick, and we can officially move onto the rooftops, which you can kind of give yourself a little bit of a shortcut and use the jetpack to get up top there. And look at that. There's another teleporter right there, which we can use and get inside that greenhouse, which has the red brick for fall rescue. So that's handy. So shouldn't be able to die, right? Isn't that how that works? All right. Next up, back into the teleporter. Beam us back up, Scotty. And, of course, we're going to go to the next roof along our pathway here. But first, drop down and grab that super brick. And, all right, we got to do a little bit of trudging over the top of these little walls here. It's kind of like the obstacle course all over again. There's that space crate with the alien in it. Of course, you're welcome to go ahead and activate that guy now and do it. But we're going to come back to him a little bit later. And look at that, another super brick before dropping down that sliding spot. We're going to go ahead and grab that. And I think there's one more maybe over here. I can't remember. Let's see here. We get all the way up top here. Nope, turns out there is not one. We already got it. So... or maybe there wasn't one. Whatever the case may be, we're going to go ahead and make our way back over. And look at me, I'm trying to decide, do I do the alien or do I do... we'll go ahead and write this down. So next up is going to be the drill thrill, as you can tell by the notation on the screen there. Oh, and hey, if you haven't already, check us out on Instagram.com/HappyThumbsGaming. That's a good place to find out when our Facebook contests are going live. Or, hey, if we're out on vacation or we find something cool out in the real world, we often post it there. And, hey, if we even find a new video game or something like that, we've got all sorts of stuff going on there. So highly recommend you check us out on Instagram. And meanwhile, we're going to pull out our hammer and fix that fuse panel there, which activates this pressure-sensitive switch. Go ahead and stand on the switch and then watch out, because there are tons of shaky tiles all over the place now. And as it turns out, there are 3 tiers that we need to take out all of these tiles. So we're going to jump up and take out the top first, because if you drop down to the bottom, you can't get back up top without making your way all the way down. And look at that. I did a jumping crouch roll and almost found myself plummeting off the roof, which I would have been able to get some of those guys on the ground, but not these ones on this second story here. So anyhow, there are 31 of these total, so not the longest one we've done. I think we had one that was like in the 50s. But yeah, this one is certainly quite long. And yeah, start at the top, work your way down, and once you get all the way to the ground, drill all of them. And look at that, 27, 28, 29. Wait a minute, where's the last 2? Oh, they're right in the middle. I missed them. Right there. Woo! I won't lie, I was sweating a little bit. I thought I missed some somewhere, but booyaka shoo! We get all of those, and unfortunately we're back on the ground, which means we got to make our way over to that jump up point where we watered that little flowering pot. And look at that, we can actually use the jetpack to get up and away too. And I wrap around, and oh, I landed right on that shimmy point. Oh yeah, watch this. I totally botched this. So I'm like making good ground. I'm like totally confident in my jumps and everything. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make a jump, and watch this. Unfortunately, I got to go back to the bottom and start all over again, and I'm like confident with my jumps again, and watch this. No, I'm just kidding. We actually make it this time. No worries. For some reason, dismounting from the sideways beam to the climbing up and down beam always seems to cause troubles for me. But, all right, there's that space crate again. We're going to skip that again for now. That's going to be the last one we do. We're going to go pick up old character token 14, which happens to be the final one for this area, Tony One Time. And, oh, yeah, he's all the way over on this roof. It's really not hard, but you got to use the boinger. And, oh, there's a teleporter, too. But we're going to go ahead and look at that. So you got to make your way. You could have skipped that little alleyway there in the roof. But, yeah, anyhow, alleyway on the roof. I'm not even making any sense. So just mute this video already and just watch what I'm doing. Watch what I do. Don't listen to what I say. Oh, and look at that. Speaking of which, I showed you the map real quick to show you where this character token was. And when I hit circle to back out of the map, it activated the teleporter and made me teleport again. For once, it wasn't user error, or I guess maybe it was. Either way you look at it. We got Tony One Time, and all we have left is to capture an alien. So, unfortunately, 3rd time's the charm. We got to go right back to that point on the roof. Well, I guess it's under the roof to get onto the roof. And then we'll get up there and grab this final collectible, which should wrap up the area. Look at me, I'm trying to cheat. I'm like, ooh, maybe I can get back up here. Nope, no such luck. Okay, all right, all right. Let's see here. We got one last time to get up here. Oh, aliens caught. Gold brick 23. That should be good to go, huh? Should be good to go. Hopefully my numbers are right. I already mentioned I had to go back through. I accidentally forgot to label one of the character tokens. So when we got to the very end, my numbers were off. I was one character token short, but as it turns out, I found it and it was easy peasy. So hopefully I didn't mess that up with the audio, you know, labeling them wrong or whatever. But anyway, well, officially got the old space crate activated. And hey, if you're wondering why I'm not having to complete the puzzles for those, it's because I have the Super Astro Crate red brick on, and that helps me solve those without having to do anything. And so here we are again. We're on a foot chase, and instead of shooting him, well, I guess I do shoot him, but what the game wants me to tackle him, not just to cuff him. So you gotta be chasing him, and the icon will appear, and there you go. So rather than trying to shoot him and take him down like I've been doing all those other times, just tackle him. And booyakasha, we get the old gold brick. We'll collect a few more items, some more extra bricks, and some studs. And look at that. All right, last but not least, let's take a quick look at our overall totals and make sure we got everything. Whoops, got a little button happy there. Oh, come on, where's the totals? All right, we got 16 out of 16, 7 out of 7, 1 out of 1, 23 out of 23. And look at that. They are all complete. And just because we like to show you our overall totals, let's take one last look at our overall just to see if you're tracking with us. And hey, that's going to wrap it up for Lego City Undercover Fresco Free Roam. And we got all those collectibles, hopefully in a nice, quick, efficient manner. Yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, head on over to Facebook or any of our socials. And as always, until next time...